We are Team Pitch Perfect for. Our firm is Apple. Apple is a tech company. They produce smartphones, laptops, PCs, different things like that, and they are based out of California. Apple faces many environmental factors. They capitalize on these by their niches. They rethink their need for advertising. They avoid price wars by emphasizing their unique products. Most firms worry about their prices, while Apple worries about how great their products are. They keep their marketing and their products simple. They know their audience and talk to them in their language. They do this by using simple terms instead of technological terms. They design better customer experience by building stores. And they build a community of consumers by having better products and making them consistent. Apple is very diversified in the national and global economy. Apple is one of 3 firms with a perfect credit score. The other 2 firms are Johnson & Johnson and Microsoft. 88% of Apple's liquid capital is overseas, and they're the largest provider of smartphones in the United States, and they produce some of the best products in the world.
Internationally, Apple only faces one key point when it comes to risk of investments, and that's China. With tariffs and our president, that's the only big thing. Nationally, tax incentives. When it comes to Ireland, Apple is facing legal issues right now. Regionally, banking, they don't really face much.
Apple has several strengths and a few weaknesses that don't really take away from the overall power of Apple. So as you can see from this table, the weaknesses are like 52-week range is pretty broad. The 52-week percentage change is very high. And the 1-year target estimate is 116. So all these are weaknesses, but the strengths it has going for it are much greater, as you can read. So one other strength is the earnings date, which comes on October 31st through November 5th, somewhere in there. But they're expected to increase, which, as you can see, they're expected to increase, and they always surprise. So an expected increase plus a surprise means a good thing for the investors. So this is obviously a strength, and this is the upcoming 4th quarter, and they always do well in the 4th quarter.
Apple versus competitors. In 2016, opening up, Apple hit a high of $105 and a low of $96. Comparing that to 2017, Apple increased to $118 and had a low of $114. Now, showing that Apple has risen to $175 in 2018 with a low of $169. Currently, Apple is now at $221, 3-year high being $229, a low of $89, a 5-year high of $229 and a low of $67. Comparing Apple's to its competitors in the Dow Jones, Apple beats out almost every single company along with Microsoft. Microsoft is one of Apple's leading competitors, but has a higher percentage change than its other 4 competitors.
Now, as far as valuations go, we sourced this on a member-created site at that URL. And here are the inputs and outputs for this Python code, which that site was ran by. So as you can see, a lot of the valuations are higher, except the discounted cash flow is based on FCFE, and as well as the price to book compared to Google. So these are market multiples, and they're all higher, including the discounted cash flow. The stock price at that time when that program was ran was $226. So we also did a Monte Carlo simulation for Apple, and there's the input and output. As you can see, it's expected to go higher than what it was. The value at risk is a little bit lower, but it's definitely a lot higher when you think about what the price is at that point. So there's the graph of all the different trials ran. Data was found on the previous slide. Last thing is the analyst report. 35 analysts say to buy with a target price of $229. So that's a great thing for Apple, and the valuation is definitely strong. So the end conclusion is whether to buy or sell. We recommend that investors would strongly buy this. We think Apple, based on everything we've presented, is a very strong company, and you can't go wrong by investing in them. The works cited are these, and I hope you have a nice night.